Hello, everybody, and welcome to our first episode of Banter. Today, we will be trying to talk about a current events and slice of life episode with multiple different topics, and I think it'll be interesting, especially since it's our first episode, and we're gonna have to get used to passing around the microphone and not talking over each other. Like, I do a lot, and like some of us do too. Alright. Alright, guys, we're starting our first app. Do you want me to pull up the topics list?
Yes, please. Yeah, sure, go ahead.
Alright, let me give it a moment. Alright, do we want to...
None of us have good memories, so I think that's a good idea.
Do you want... Alright, here's my question. Do we want to start heavy?
I don't think we should start heavy. I think it should just be, just middle.
Okay.
Middle.
Alright.
Let's build up.
Alright. Build up, yeah.
Alright, well, let's talk about most recent. We've all of us have taken a recent... Shut up. First episode, I can make mistakes. We've all taken a Regents recently. But, so, Moosh, how do you feel about the Regencies so far?
So far, I'm pleasantly surprised. I was expecting them to be more difficult than they turned out to be.
Yeah.
And I'm very surprised and grateful for my English Regents. Thank you, Flag.
Zaid?
I entirely agree, honestly. I was going into the regions I had to take thinking they'd be much more difficult than they actually were. I was told that they'd be more difficult, they were not, and I'm expecting good scores.
Go ahead, Jayden.
Well, I only took one Regents. I don't know how many you guys did, but I only took one, and it was the English one, and that one was pretty easy for me. And I think it was for everybody, but that's just my opinion. I don't know.
And if, I guess before I explain my way, if you live outside of New York City, Regents is like our end of year test that we take for, it's basically how the state grades your school and your performance. It's like how they get good budgets and stuff like that. It doesn't really matter to your success in your career or like your ability to move on much, but it does matter to the teachers that they're funding. It's a little dumb, but it is what it is. Oh, speaking of dumb, I took one Regents and I did so bad on it. I took the English Regents and I guess I can't really talk about much of it, but I did pretty well on the multiple choice portion. I think I got probably like a 4 or 5 on my first essay, and then I definitely got a 1 on my second essay. I barely wrote anything.
I actually feel
I ran out
pretty
of time.
good about my second essay. I put my whole tushy into that. I'm trying not to swear.
It
But-
doesn't matter.
I know, but I think I did pretty well on the English Regents for the multiple choice, and I don't. Was the second one the
We can't talk. Don't discuss what it's about.
Content.
You can't discuss the content of it.
I think it needs to be understood.
I don't know because I didn't read it. Wait.
I think it needs to be understood that these exams may have been easier due to the fact that we've all experienced COVID within our school. So,
yeah.
as well as that, we can also discuss how stupid the curve is.
Oh my god, I was about to say the curve is so low. This
You're
year.
welcome for that. My curve. I brought up your grade because I straight up ran out of time. I didn't even read the last. But okay, it's what. Move on before I hurt myself.
Yeah.
Also.
Before we spoil something.
Also, there will be swearing.
Sure.
But for those of you in Massachusetts, I could be wrong, but I think your equivalent is called the MCAT.
Ooh, and Florida, yours is the FCAT.
Really?
Yeah, it's crazy. It's like, what does the F stand for? It's like Florida.
Florida,
You
yeah.
guys
I don't know what the
You
CAT
guys are
stands
so
for.
unique.
Yeah.
We actually have
Very unique
regions.
group of
We call them something unique.
All right, let's keep it rolling.
I don't think anyone cares
and
about
let's-
us talking about tests.
Yeah. Let's talk about first week of summer. First week of summer back.
Can I talk?
Well, not back, but you know what I mean. What?
Can I talk?
Yeah.
Okay. So I don't know about you guys, but my summer has been amazing. For the fact that I haven't had to watch my sister for the last like 2 weeks, which is amazing. You guys don't know this, but I have a little sister, and I'm not gonna say how old she is because that's kind of personal.
It's alright. Just go on.
But it's amazing. But today was her last day, so now I gotta watch her. So I guess it's ruined. It's ruined.
It's all ruined.
It's all ruined. Just because of that.
I've enjoyed my week of summer so far. I feel like I've spent a lot of money on gas, but that's what happens when you have a car. That's what happens when you can't walk to work and you can't walk anywhere and you live in suburbia. But that's okay. I love our infrastructure. All right, let's just move on.
Me and my fellow Elon fanatics over here pitying everyone that does not have a Tesla.
Elon Simps are so gross. Sorry. Say, do you want to talk about the summer or do you not care?
The summer is a time of year like any other. It holds events just as any other.
That low-key turned into like a poem. I don't know. But, Riley, I want to say I'm very sorry because it's mostly Phoebe and I that are like wasting your gas.
It's alright.
We asked you to drive us everywhere. So
It's fine. The only reason I end up getting upset about it is when I start running out of money. Which is alright. It just means I gotta go back to work.
Yeah, go back to Chipotle.
You're outing my place of work.
Oh,
no, I don't
wow.
They don't know what Chipotle. They don't know what. Go
You
back.
gotta pay for that advertisement. No free promo here.
Go to our Patreon and you'll find out where Riley works.
No, we'll tell people.
Once again, maintain control of volume and who speaks at what time.
Sorry.
Yo, you right. Sorry, my
You're
bad.
right,
You're right. All right. I'm gonna bring up some politics.
Let's see your guys' thing.
Okay. Have you been watching the January 6th Council at all, Moosh or Zaid or Jayden?
Inform me. What is that?
Okay. So you know how like a few years ago there was like a coup attempt on the Capitol where like people surged the Capitol to like overthrow the government?
Yeah, that was hilarious. Don't cancel me. I'm just an outsider looking at.
It's hilarious because it looked hilarious. People in the crowd are literally insane people, and it's like watching a clown show. Literally. But recently they've been doing they've done an investigation for like 2 years, and now they're bringing up all the evidence on people and like trying to see if they can nail anybody for like suspicion or like attempted coup attempt or like was like treason, you know, things that like were illegal, and you know how like stuff like that. And recently they've been going into it. I haven't watched them. I watched the first one, but I did not watch a lot of the other ones. They just showed footage that has like never been shown over it. And, like you just see the craziness, and then they got into it and like how they knew that it was illegal before they did it. Like I think it was Trump's lawyer like straight up like told him that like, yo, this is like illegal. We can't like we're gonna do this, but it's illegal. And they're like, I haven't watched the recent ones, but I'm hoping someone gets blamed for this. Just like you can't just do a coup and then nothing happens. I don't know, but that's my opinion on it. Anything?
Oh, what's that, lawyer? This is illegal? Well, I don't know, man. My QAnon advisor said that this could positively result in some great change that would benefit this country. My QAnon members, my fellow members, they were telling
What
me,
even is legal? All right, I just want to.
in this government, we are free to make our own laws. That's called legislative anarchy. That's what we can do.
My K Kona impression. All right. What's the lawyer's name?
Can you look that up for us?
Can you look up Trump's rep lawyer?
Please and thank
Because
you.
I don't remember. I straight don't remember.
For 2024,
No, it's fine.
we need to also build a wall around DC. Is this what he? Wait, this is what he does with his hands? No, he does this. I recognize my Trump impression is horrible.
I can do a good K Kona. I could not do a Trump. Well, they say I'm the best. All right. That's all I got.
Aside from the voice, make sure you're trying to talk to a fish. You know?
That's true. Well, they say I am the best, and the best there ever has been and will be.
China.
For
China.
For Trump's
China.
lawyer,
China.
Oh wait, sorry.
For Trump's lawyer, I am getting the name John Eastman.
Yeah, that's him. That's him. Yeah, coward, literal coward of a human. Sorry. Anger. Anyway, let's talk about other political things like the attempted white supremacist riot at an Idaho Pride event gets shut down by the police. That was crazy.
Objection. Hearsay.
Have any of you know anything about that?
Hearsay.
Moosh?
No, I'm kidding. It probably happened.
Probably.
It did happen.
Will,
But,
you want to start pulling stuff up first?
I just wanted to use that line.
From what I heard, alright, and Will can fact check me, because it's been like a week, and when this comes out, it'll be like a month. There was a Pride event that happened, just a rally that was happening in Idaho, in some country. No, not country. County.
Which country runs?
County.
Which one? That's weird. That's so
One
weird.
county, and there was white supremacists, and I'm not calling them white supremacists because I'm like, everyone's a white supremacist. They called themselves white supremacists. That's like what they call themselves. They also kind of call themselves Nazis sometimes. So like that's what they are. It's not like I'm like, you're a Nazi. They're like, we're Nazis.
But I'm sure there were white queer people there,
What do you mean?
right? Like, if you're a white supremacist, you think that white people are better than everyone else. But what about the white queer people?
That's a good point. Like, why? What's wrong? No, but they all loaded into a U-Haul. A U-Haul. They loaded into a truck. A U-Haul. Like there was like 30 of them. They loaded into a U-Haul. They drove down there. People like called them out and were like, "Hey, there's people with like riot gear that just went into a U-Haul and now they're driving down to like downtown. What's going on?" And the police show up and they're like, they open the hatch and it's just a sardine pack U-Haul of people in riot gear and they're all. It's the ridiculous thing. I love hog on cop violence. It's the best thing.
I would also like to say, kind of, well, it's not nothing that has to do with
No, go ahead.
this, but for all the people that are in the LGBT plus community, happy Pride Month. Well, happy late Pride Month.
Yeah, this will be late. This will definitely be late, but right now it's Pride. Right
Yeah,
now.
so
It's no longer
happy
Pride.
late
You had your. No, I'm kidding.
You had your fun.
You had your-
I'm kidding.
Your month is
We
over.
love you all. We love you all.
Your month is over. All right. It's no. Of course, I'm kidding.
We're kidding. But
Um,
I hope you guys enjoyed your Pride Month, and I hope you guys
You
had
wanna?
fun.
Oh, sorry, I
Go
didn't
ahead.
talk
Go
over.
ahead. Go ahead.
You want to go to a little bit more of a lighter thing?
Sure.
So I've been watching during the summer, Ryan Trahant. I don't know if any of you are at all familiar. I think our editor and our director in the back, well not director, but our
Editor-in-chief.
editor-in-chief, our editor and our tech guy, basically the guy that runs this ship. In the back has heard of him, right? Am I right, Will? Yeah. I'm getting head nods. So what he's doing is he's crossing America with a penny. So he's like you know what I'm talking
Yes,
about? You've seen
I
it.
do,
All right.
I
So
do.
what he's
What
doing.
does that mean?
Okay. So he starts with a single penny. Also, start off. This all is going to a good cause. So if it's still going on when we put this out, or if it's not going on, donate to his charity, please. It'd be great for charity. He's donating to to help give meals to people that need food. Basically, sorry, I'm stumbling over my words. But basically, what he's doing is he has a penny, and he has to make money with that penny, and then buy plane tickets to get he's going from LA to North Carolina, where he's basically giving the penny to Mr. Beast. You might not know who Mr. Beast is, but pretty much everybody knows.
Everybody knows who Mr. Beast is. If you don't know who
Correct
Mr.
me
Beast
if I'm
is,
wrong, but he does this by trading the penny for other items.
Yeah.
With
Yes.
eventuality where he can trade for enough money.
Yeah,
Yes.
He starts with a penny, and then he trades it for like a pen, and then he sells that pen for like $1, and then he buys water, and then he sells the water for like $2, and then he keeps going. And his Phoebe made a good point. She can't be here today, unfortunately, but she said that it's kind of romanticizing homelessness, which is kind of fucked up, but that's not. I would argue that it's not like the videos where it's like billionaire tries to be homeless for 3 days on the street. See what happens. It's a little bit different. He's also doing it for a good cause, and also he makes very clear his caveats. He has a phone. Homeless people don't have phones, so it's very difficult if you don't have a phone. He has a sleeping bag. Not a sleeping bag. He has a hammock, which technically bought the hammock during it. But he had a backpack. He has clothes. Like he started with a bunch of stuff. And he also if he can't make it and he's like starving on the street, he can go back home to his bed. So it's like quite obvious that he's not homeless, right? It's just that he is this challenge. You know what I mean? Sorry, I didn't mean to cut you off. You wanted to say something?
No, you're fine. I think what Riley is basically trying to say is that he essentially is provided for despite doing the challenge. So
Yeah.
He's not taking anything away from himself.
Yeah. It's a challenge. It's not a homeless simulator. It's you know what I mean? I think it's really cool. I think as of right now, this will date the podcast significantly. But I think he's in Texas right now. Correct me. I love the videos because I've been watching them. He does the daily routine, and I wake up just to watch the video. Well, not just to watch the video, but that is the first thing I watch on YouTube when I wake up. It's a really good, and you should check it out if you haven't seen it.
You guys ever read the book Into the Wild?
No. What is that?
It's this book about
I don't read books.
this kid.
Go on.
This kid, he's incredibly smart, perfect SAT, perfect grades, everything.
Oh, is this Chris?
Yeah.
Yeah.
He gives it all up to live like a nomadic life. So I read that book in English and I was thinking, if that's the lifestyle someone wants, then what necessarily is the harm in romanticizing homelessness?
Well, okay, so it's not that you're romanticizing being without a home, it's romanticizing not being able to get out of homelessness. Because sometimes it's difficult to get out of homelessness, and it's like he's choosing to be homeless. Most people that are homeless aren't choosing to be homeless. I would argue. But if you have anything to say about that, or do you?
So are you saying like it takes away people's capacity for empathy toward the homeless?
Yes,
Okay.
exactly. It's because like then you're like, well, they should just do what Ryan Trahan did and do Uber Eats with their phone that they have because they're homeless and everybody has a phone when not everybody has a phone. So it's a little bit. I definitely see where Phoebe's coming from at that point. So it's just like you should make it clear that he's not homeless. He's just doing a challenge right now. There's a difference.
It's one thing where you're doing it for your own entertainment versus that's your life.
Yeah.
It's much harder.
Yeah, exactly. I would definitely agree with that. Jayden,
Yes.
do you want to talk about it?
Oh,
The Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared season 2.
Oh my god, for those of you that like watch Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared, if you haven't heard, season 2 is coming out in September. Isn't that amazing? Oh,
Hey, Jayden. So I personally, I haven't seen it. Would you like to summarize?
Yes, I would. Okay, so it's about these three characters. They're kind of like puppets. And there is yellow guy, the duck, and red guy. And they go through, it's kind of made like a kid's show. Like, have you ever watched Sesame Street?
Mhm.
Like, it's kind of made
Seen
like
it.
that.
Yeah.
It's kind of made like that, and it's supposed to go through like, creativity, time, like those things when you're supposed to learn as a kid, but it all goes sour by like the middle of the episode.
It gets really creepy and
Really gruesome.
really demented. It's like starts kid and kid friendly and childish, and then it goes to like dark, decrepit, scary things you'd watch when you're like 15. It'd freak like a 6-year-old out.
So is it actually for kids then?
No.
I can,
Oh, we neither of us have a mic, but
I can,
no.
No!
I can imagine a child convincing their parent to see this just by showing them the very beginning.
It's the whole reason me and Jayden are really hyped about it is because it's been like I think like 4 years since they
I think it's been 6 years.
really.
I think.
Oh my
Oh,
god!
well,
Can we
fact
fact
check
check on that?
Please.
But they teased it like a year ago, and now we finally have a date, and I'm super hyped.
I'm getting Teletubby vibes.
It's
I was thinking.
that's actually not okay. It's more puppet-esque.
like,
it's puppet
like I said, Sesame Street.
or the Muppets.
Muppets.
No, like the Muppets.
But way more gruesome. Guts ripped out,
It's-
brains ate. Yeah.
It's actually there's a really interesting thing. The people that made it, the whole reason that they made it was because they were what? It's been 10 years?
Since the last season came out?
That's
oh
crazy.
my god. That's insane though.
Dude.
10 years. This better be good.
No,
This better
I love the creators because the people that made it, the whole reason that they made it was because they had an ideological
There you
problem
There
with
you go.
advertisement in kids shows. Because they were upset with like people putting their brands into stuff like I don't know, because you know how the Flintstones used to advertise things like cigarettes and stuff like that. You know
I
what I mean?
definitely agree with that.
But like
Against that.
I know. But the whole reason it's all linked around that the people that make it sour are the people that are in it for the profits and for the advertisement that aren't like trying to actually educate the kids. It's a really interesting video, and you should check out the game theory. I guess maybe.
Yes, I think. Can we talk about game theory? I like it.
I like
Is that
game
a
theory
channel?
too. Yeah, game
Yes,
theory.
I've
So-
seen some of it.
Yes.
I think he sometimes is a little off base, but
He gets there.
he gets there
No.
sometimes.
His FNAF theories? FNAF?
Sometimes he gets there, and it's entertainment, man. It's entertainment. Even if it's a Sans' Nest and it's like not good, they're still alright sometimes to watch.
I actually have something to talk about. It's kind of off of game theory, but the backrooms.
The backrooms?
The backrooms.
Okay, go on.
Okay, do you guys know what the backrooms is?
I don't think so.
No.
Okay, so the backrooms is creator. I don't know who created the channel, but
Will,
it's
can we
pri-
pull up quick
oh,
so we can
yes.
credit it?
But there is a channel out there that created
Creative.
the backrooms by like if you fall out of reality, you will end up in the backrooms, and it's kind of like an endless place with like yellow, mellow-ish walls that you could get stuck in, and you're stuck in there with like monsters.
Like
How
a
does
limbo
one
of sorts?
fall out of reality?
It's okay, so it's kind of based around the concept. So you know how like you can no clip in a video game where like so like you can fall out of the map in like a video game. That's the premise, that you can fall out of reality and real life, and you can end up in this back room-esque place. It's really, really indie, but I think it's kind of cool. It's kind of cool.
Can I pull up a picture for Moosh and Zaid for
We'll have a you pull up a picture and we'll try and put a picture up on the screen right now.
Yes, please and
It
thanks.
took inspiration from analog horror,
Yeah, I know. Oh,
but has been made.
we gotta do a topic on analog horror. That is a topic idea right
This is
now.
what it looks
Write
like.
it down, Will. Actually,
Oh wow.
It's been made.
I am writing it down right now.
It's
So
been
this
made
is
as
something that
backrooms
exists
by
outside of the
Canadian
plane of reality.
persons.
it's
It's
like
kind
a
of like a
creepy
theory.
pasta.
Yes.
It's a creepy pasta.
What do you do in the back rooms?
Nothing. Well,
Try to
Jay,
escape.
You try to survive and escape, apparently.
Because if you follow up on wait, Will, did you tell us who created it?
Am I the
Kane
only one
Parsons.
who's consistently?
Okay.
Can you say that into the mic?
Died.
Oh, it died. The mic died.
So wait, so
Plug
Kane,
it in, plug it in.
Kane.
Kane. Okay, so Kane, if you go to Kane's channel and watch through, like the videos are all out of
Do you have
order.
the charger
We'll
one?
have one from like September,
Alright,
then
try
you'll have
plugging it in
one
if you can.
like September like 1990 something.
Try
And then you'll have one like the next day that's from like January of 1980 something, and you have to put them in order, which is what Matt Pat from Game Theory has been doing for the past couple of months. But if you go through and watch, it just keeps getting creepier and creepier. Like you find more out about the back rooms, which
It's
is like
really interesting, and it's something that I have not looked into much,
Really?
but I want to because it's a really cool creepypasta, I guess.
I find
Give
it
me-
very interesting.
Maybe wait. Analog horror. There. Now what's a topic? That'll happen someday.
You'll never know when, but someday.
But someday. I'm gonna try and get it back on topic.
We know what we're doing. We give you something to look forward to. This will happen in 20 years. You will consistently be waiting for 20 years.
Nah, for sure it'll happen at some point. But anyway, let's try to get back on topic a little bit. We've kind of strayed a little.
Sorry.
No, it's alright. It's alright. This is why it's good to stray. It's good to stray. It's good for retention. We want your time and your money and your minutes.
Subscribe to our Patreon.
You don't have a Patreon. We might.
Go look at it.
No.
No, I'm kidding. We don't have a Patreon. We don't have a Patreon.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Well, honestly, by the time this is released, we might have a Patreon actually.
Hey, this is the first episode. Most things are still in the works. I'm gonna be real with you. Our concept art is still not done yet. We still have the pilot's not even done as of the time of this recording. We're still working the kinks out, but that's how you know we're genuine and we're real. We're not just we're not high budget. Trust me, we're not high budget. But we're gonna try and make it look like it.
The
Alright.
journey of 1,000 miles begins with a single step. But
So-
also, he's lying. We're meta agents. We're meta robots or holograms.
What?
We're not real. I don't know what he's going on about.
I'm not real.
Yeah.
I've been successfully gaslit.
Reality isn't real.
All right. Back to some politics.
Elon thinks it's a simulation, which I do disagree with him on.
Jayden, the root word of reality is real.
All right.
Yeah, what if reality wasn't real?
All right, here we go. Back to some politics. A little bit of current events. All right. Republicans voting no on the gouge pricing gas bill.
What are they thinking?
I'm just saying, it's very interesting that a lot of conservative pundits and the conservative caucus and the people that they represent, like the conservative audience, is complaining about gas prices, kind of rightfully so. They're a little insane. And they're claiming that it's like Joe Biden's fault and that he has like a little dial in his room that he can just fucking well, I hate you, so it's more expensive. He can't. That's not how it works. That's not how the system works. We have to pass bills that make it so that we can no longer gouge price, which is like if a commodity is low and like if there's less of the commodity, you can't just jack up the price to make more money on it. People do it during like hurricanes, like my dad gives the example of when you're out of wood. What are you gonna do? Just you're gonna let anybody have wood? But what? You're only gonna give wood to the people that can afford it? What about the people that can't afford it? They need wood still. So it's like a difficult situation. But like, if everybody needs gas. It's not like something where it's like, well, I guess we're just gonna have apples instead of oranges today because the apples are really expensive. But you have to have gas. We guzzle gas. That is our country. That we do it. We have to have gas to go to work. We have to have gas to go to school. We have to have gas to run our country. If our gas prices increase, every price increases because it has to be shipped. So it's crazy that like the people that are most advocating for it to be lower are voting no. on the bill.
I have 3 things to say about
Also, Will, could you pull up the numbers on who voted no and who voted yes?
The first thing, EVs are the way to go.
I don't disagree.
Second thing, so because of all this gas, I think recently Saudi Aramco, which it was a Saudi Arabian American gas company, recently passed Apple for either the largest or the wealthiest company in the world.
I don't know if that's true, but that's insane.
Well, so you can fact check that. Now it's Saudi Aramco, it's the world's largest company. But also, my third thing was, so I know you told me earlier that this was designed to reduce the price of gas, but what exactly, how exactly is it going to achieve?
I don't know exactly how it works, dude. I didn't read the fine document, but I knew what it was. I think, Will, I really need you to check me on this one because I'm a little talking out of my ass.
Will has like 8 tabs open.
So he's like,
I got time to
give me 1 second, guys, just one second. Guys.
To answer Moosh's question, yes, it is the largest.
Saudi Aramco, yep.
Yeah, that's crazy. I was gonna say that I think it like just reduces how much gas like the people that. Okay, so I watched. There's a really good Climate Town video you could watch on this that would explain it a lot better than I can. I highly suggest watching Climate Town. Their stuff is pretty good. He's pretty good. But anyway, so there's multiple different people that are in the gas industry. There's the people that pump and sell the gas, like they have the gas and we take it from them. There's the people that purify it from just raw gas into like regular gas, and then there's one other, and then there is the gas pump. And the people that are taking the most amount of money from it is the people that have the gas to begin with, and that's OPEC. That's the people that we buy gas from. And who would you guess is also part of OPEC?
Saudi Arabia?
Russia.
Yeah.
Weird how price of gases increase when a nation invades another nation. I'll let you draw your
That's
own
very
conclusion.
interesting.
But it's also not just them, because when it comes to other gas companies that purify our gas, their profits are still going up. They're still making more money. Even though it's more expensive to purchase gas, they're still increasing. They're not just staying stagnant, they're also increasing. And you can look up multiple different things of those company owners saying, we gotta do it for our shareholders, that they own this company, and it's like, okay, so you're admitting right now that it's not, you are a company that is, your invested interest is not the American public, they're not the American citizens, it's not your customers, it is your shareholders. So it's like, you can't, there's always this argument that it's like, well, they're trying to help the world. They're trying to make what's good for their customers. But that's like the argument for monopolization. But like, this is what happens when you have monopolies. You have unchecked power. We need to like do something that like lowers the prices. We can't, so that way they can't charge as high of prices. And that way it starts cutting into their profits a little bit, because their profits going up isn't just how much money they're making from it. It's also how much money, like, there's the baseline. They're making more than it takes for them to buy it. And then that amount is also going up. So it's not only eating into their profits, and it's not even eating into, like, they're not losing money, they're still gaining money. So it'd be kind of cool if, like, they were just still gaining the same amount of money instead of gaining exponentially more money. You know what I'm saying?
Care about the public though? Well, of course not. The gasoline industry has always been concerned about revenue first, and
yeah,
I just want this to serve as a lesson to the nation and the world that gasoline is not it. My accounting teacher was telling me that it's going to take a while for the price to go back down, because the entire industry right now is collectively, either formally or informally, it's probably like an unspoken word that is agreeing to not lower the prices.
Yeah, because it's not a. You're sorry. Go ahead.
It's making them more money, so I don't see why they would stop if
Why would
they had the option not to.
Yeah. From a quote from Climate Town, they get the extra money. If the gas prices are higher, they make more money. Why would they turn it down? They are making the money. But like, yeah, technically it's not a monopoly. It's like a little fact check. Give me this definition. What's it called when there's multiple different companies that have a vested interest in increasing the price? Trust. A trust. It's basically a trust.
I'm pretty sure a trust was where a large company owns multiple subsidiaries.
Yeah, that's also
It's
that.
similar.
It's a trust. It's a collection of trusts. But we have such bad application of our trust laws that they can just do this, and the American public has to pay for it because we need the gas. It's not like a commodity that we can just be like, oh, it's fine. It's like most other things, like housing, like water, like food, like gas, and all these things we need to survive. And we don't need to have like a phone. Well, not a phone, but like we don't need to have glass to survive. Like if the price of glass went up crazy, glass does not prevent people from going to work. You know what I mean? It makes things difficult, sure, but it wouldn't make things. What's really driving inflation right now is the price of gas increasing. Like inflation would go down substantially if we had less gas increase. Because when gas increases, everything increases. Well, you want to tell me what that word is?
So there's multiple types of monopolies. It's just a subform of monopoly.
Yeah, but what's it called when it's multiple companies?
Industrial monopoly.
An industrial monopoly? Is that
It's
true?
like over this whole industry.
I guess it's technically an industrial monopoly.
But even our last, aside from if you
I
want
think
to
there's a specific word for it.
if you don't want to look at tech companies like
Let me
Google
know
and
in the comments.
Facebook, then our last relevant monopoly was Standard Oil, which was in the gas industry. So you would think people and the government would be paying more attention.
Dude, I have so much more to say on gas, but we gotta move on. We gotta move on. Well, hey, let's add it into the whole.
I just have one thing to say. Can we move on to something other than politics?
Yes, we can. Yes, we can. I know it's not our politics heavy episode.
No, you guys are into politics, but like I'm not really into politics, so like.
So that's why we're moving on.
Yeah,
That's why we're moving on. Give me a minute.
Not trying to rush you, but like.
I know you're over there waiting patiently. All right. I'll put it into the major topics list, but first, before that, let's pick something else to talk about.
I saw Zaid put wildlife.
All right. You want to talk about that? Wildlife. Give it a shot.
Biodiversity is decreasing, and we have a large extinction rate,
Very true. It's very true.
Agreed.
and it's not slowing down.
Yeah, that's.
People are making efforts, but there isn't enough funding behind it, and there isn't enough contribution by the mass of society. So,
Moosh, did you? I feel like this is a topic you would know a lot on.
I just don't think enough people care or are aware. It's really just not enough people care.
Yeah.
Why they don't realize why it should concern them.
unlike stuff like gas, the life of an animal that lives, I don't know, like anywhere in the world away from them, it does not matter it doesn't matter to people, so people don't really want to do anything about it. And there's a small group of people who do want to save animals, who want to protect animal life just as much as human life, but there aren't enough of them.
Yeah.
I would also like to say that zoos play like a huge part in this. Like they take in animals. Yes, they'll be like nurse them back to life, or like if they're like half dead, but they're also keeping them captive, which is like
it's destroying biodiversity. Yeah.
There was this show on Netflix, I forget what it's called, but it was former President Obama was narrating it, and it was, the first episode was on the significance of national parks, and that's way better than zoos because it's somewhere that humans can still go and observe the wildlife, but the wildlife are free to live the way that they were naturally meant to.
It gives them their own what's it called? Their own terrain, not their own terrain, but like their own environment. Their own environment. They're not taken and put in cages to just live off of like fish and just live there and suffer while people take pictures of them.
Yeah, in being captive in zoos, the wildlife don't hunt, they don't work for their food, they aren't really truly the animals that they originally were or that they were meant to be.
The show is called Our Great National Parks.
Yep. I'm currently watching that.
Great national parks if you can't hear well.
And the food that they eat isn't always necessarily part of their natural diet. Or let's say on average a polar bear eats like 2% fish, 98% seal. Obviously I'm pulling numbers out of nowhere, but these zoos might give them like 40% fish just because it's cheaper, and that's not natural.
Yeah, that's really true. Do you mind if I move it along? I totally get what you're saying, but I want to try and cover some more stuff while Zaid still is here. Unfortunately,
Back into politics?
No, I don't know yet. I don't know yet. I'm looking
Sorry.
We might. I don't know.
Okay. Go ahead.
Let me.
Anyway, while Riley's searching, how are your guys' day going?
Welcome to this segment of Riley making weird noises for no reason.
Welcome to Riley's Beep Boop.
Sorry,
This is Riley's
Animal Crossing
animal.
noises.
Yeah.
I know it's
You're gonna be dead to me
really
forever.
I know it's really annoying, guys, when YouTubers do this, and nobody's forcing you. But if you feel compelled to share an opinion, go ahead and leave a comment.
Yeah, we'll read them.
Yeah,
We're gonna read them.
I know I will definitely read them.
And we'll comment probably on separate accounts because I don't think I'm gonna give Moosh our account.
I'm gonna get us canceled.
You will. Most definitely.
Yeah. Yes. Yes.
No, if you say something controversial, he will have a debate with you in the comments. If you're into that,
No, actually though, like I'll have my phone notifications out. Like,
yeah,
let's
that's
go,
not
bro.
a joke.
And then next thing you
Eventually-
know,
He will actually debate with you if you want within the comments, so feel free to do that.
and then next
Eventually
thing,
we'll have. Oh.
And then next thing you know, we're gonna have you on the podcast, and Moosh is gonna be arguing with you in real life.
Chess boxing.
Chess boxing.
I'm good at chess. I'm pretty good at boxing, so I think we can do this.
Alright guys, our next episode will be a solo of Moosh just talking about your comments. And
Yeah, we'll have.
although I am joking about
That's
that,
a great
I think that
Patreon
is
segment.
actually
Wait, I'm serious.
That's a
guys?
great Patreon segment.
You
I'm
guys,
like, legitimately, that'd be kind of cool.
you guys know about like the Jimmy Kimmel live tweets?
Ugh.
We could do like the reverse of that, where I roast your comments.
All right, but
That's
that's a consideration. I want someone to put that in topics idea. Will, can you put that in topics ideas?
Please
No,
and
not
thank
ideas, but our podcast ideas.
Yeah,
Podcast
yeah.
ideas. Sorry,
you. Please and thank you.
sorry. Working the kinks out. All right, let's talk about Squid Game season 2.
Oh
yes,
my
I love
God.
that show, bro.
Dude, we're gonna be going back and forth on this one.
The
Okay.
Korean, we got the Korean in the house.
Yes. Okay.
yeah,
So-
why
Okay,
are
so-
Koreans?
So as you guys,
For those of you that don't know, Jayden is like quarter Korean or something.
yeah.
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 So for
Yeah.
those of you that haven't watched Squid Game because you live under a
Who
rock
hasn't?
or what? Well, I mean, my parents.
It's so good, bro.
Yeah.
They probably thought it was like too
That's
violent
crazy.
or
I
something.
haven't.
William.
How?
Okay. So
But
anyway,
there's
I'm
also
gonna
a
give-
large number of people, including myself previously, who will specifically not watch something just because.
Okay, but it's
they
kind
think
of good to watch. I get like that it's popular and that
Wait.
makes it
And
annoying.
I
Wait,
started
but,
it
like,
before it was
it's
popular.
kind of it's
so
kind of
otherwise,
cool. It's popular
Yeah,
because it's
exactly.
cool. It's not popular because it's like what Jennifer Aniston is doing. It's popular because it's cool.
Okay.
That's why it's
But
cool.
before we talk about it more, I would like to explain it because of people that haven't watched it.
Are we
Sure.
spoiling
Sure.
or are we not?
No,
spoiling?
we're not.
We're not.
Well, no, well, spoiler alert.
I was gonna say
Ah.
something. I was gonna say something as a joke, and then I was like, "Wait, that's actually a spoiler." I was gonna
Okay,
be-
so technically, this show is about a young man. I forget how to pronounce his name. It's like Gyeong or something like that.
I wouldn't exactly
Young.
call him young.
Something like that.
Gyeong.
young
Yeah,
man.
he's like 40,
Young
he's like
man.
40, but like.
We
Yeah,
can probably
40
check
is
that.
young to you, Jayden.
Nah, he is like 38 or something.
The man-
Anyway.
Okay,
Oh,
but
did you get him?
it's about
He's a
it's
bomb
about
though.
a man. Sorry.
Yeah, 5 minutes.
That is having a hard time paying his rent, and he gets I'm not gonna say how, but he gets opted into this whole big game show. It's not even a game show. It's like a game.
It's a game show.
It's a
It's a game
Well,
show.
I mean, it's a game show for someone. I'm not going to spoil who, but game show for someone, a couple people in particular. But
It's a game show,
there
but it's
is-
not open to the public.
Yeah,
it's,
yeah.
It's a group of
Hunger
really
Games.
wealthy people who are providing the money.
Yeah. And
so there
wanna
is
explain- you wanna I talk a lot. You can.
yes, I know. So there is 456
Yep.
people in this competition, which means that it is. I think they said it was 4.56 million.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
So
That
I
you
think
could
it was
win.
1,000 for everyone.
Was it won or dollars? Won, right?
It's-
Dollars.
It was won.
Dollar
Won.
conversion's different.
Ones.
Yeah.
But
I'm butchered.
technically they have to play. Technically, they have to play all
Wait, can
of
you
these
say that?
children's games. Like
Jayden, new segment. How white can you say that? Dun, 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 dun. One.
What was the thing we
She
were
is
talking
not
about
amused.
earlier that was you saying? Oh, mukbang.
Mukbang.
It's mukbang.
Alright, Jayden's talking.
Go
Everybody
get
shut
shut.
up. Everybody shut up. Go ahead, Jayden.
as I was saying before the idiots interrupted me. So technically, you have to play a series of 6 games, which is like tug of war. There's hopscotch, but like it's on glass. Simon Says, red light, green light. All those wonderful games, and you have to pass them all. And if you do not, you're like dead.
There was no
So-
Simon Says, but there was the
By
cookie
dead,
cutter one.
she means dead.
No, yeah, you
will-
die.
You will
You
be
die.
murdered.
You die.
I don't know.
In real life. IRL. No, but technically, if you're the last person, then you win all of that money. You win all of that money, and spoiler, Gi-young ends up winning, and at the end, he's going to see his daughter because he couldn't see her. Didn't have any money. Broke. Haha, broke. Imagine. No. But he was broke. He couldn't see his daughter, and she moved away. So he went to go see her, and then that's when season 1 ends. He gets a phone call from the Squid Games, and he...
Spoiler alert, his mother dies.
You did
Oh, yeah,
not just
no.
say from the Squid Games.
from the Squid Games. No,
You got a call from the Squid Games.
no, what am I supposed to say? The fucking old man, he died.
Squid
He was-
Games Evil Incorporated.
We're gonna get the episode.
So I first came across this show upon recommendation from my
Betty the Platypus!
my Korean neighbor friend who I went to work with. But he told me it was pretty good. So I didn't have high expectations initially, but
It's
actually player number 1 was my favorite all the way, and you'll see why. And when I found out the truth about him, I was pleasantly surprised. That's all.
pleasantly.
Pleasantly surprised. Like, let me tell you why. Hold on, sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
Well, the way I
don't
love,
look at my
I love the
puppies.
show. It's so beautifully structured because it has elements of the past. Like you can even draw parallels to Roman gladiator games, or even today, where little kids want to grow up to become athletes to like get out of the hood, quote unquote, and see like winning as their way out and competing. It shows like how life can often be perceived as a competition. It's a criticism of modern capitalism or what it's become. The show is just, I don't even know if the author intended for it to be all that, but it's such a beautiful representation of a lot of what we're seeing today and what we have seen before. So I love that aspect.
I also would like to argue that you might be romanticizing it a little bit. It's showing the cruelty of capitalism, so that showing that how sometimes your only way out is to compete in life or death scenarios to be able to like eat and like sleep in a bed.
I'm showing how that can be good and bad.
Sure.
Definitely the bad is in there.
It's difficult to see the good. That's what I'll say.
Winning,
Alright,
glory,
I'm
survival.
Alright.
Yeah.
On one note, the very fact that it shows what the downsides of capitalism, right? And it takes place in Korea.
Oh,
It
no,
doesn't
no,
work
no,
in
no,
Korea.
no, no, no,
What
no, no,
Anyway,
no,
We're
no,
not
no,
getting into
no.
this.
I am bored. I'm out of here. You guys suck.
Oh, yeah. Zayd's gotta leave. He has somewhere to be. Alright.
Yeah. Okay, bye. Bye.
Bye. No, bye. No,
Bye.
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 Bye. No, it's fine.
Now that that sucker's out
My
of here.
God, it
Alright.
sucks.
Yeah.
hate him.
Am I right? I hate that guy. Am I right, guys?
Am I right? Okay.
Actually, now that we've paused, do you want to come up and sit and talk?
You wanna come talk about it?
Yes, Will.
If you don't mind.
You guys are gonna see
Yeah.
it.
We
Yeah.
have a segment, so you can bring your computer if you want. It's fine.
Okay, but
No, it's okay.
I
The
would.
only reason I'm asking you up is because you have a segment coming up that you probably want to talk about. The background. Okay.
So I would like to say before we end the Squid Games topic, I'm gonna
We're
leave
not
it
ending
on.
it.
I'm gonna leave it on. Not even leave it, but like leave my. It's not even a question. Yeah, it is a question. Question. We already know Moosh's favorite character. Who is your favorite character?
Ooh, a favorite
And why?
character?
Why? I can go first if you like.
You go first.
So mine was Ali for a bunch of
I
reasons.
don't remember their names.
Ali was
It
like
was the
the
brown
Indian
kid.
guy. The one that saved Young in the first game.
I liked him.
The
He-
sick. No.
He was so unbelievably, like, I don't know, he was so cute and everything, and like his character was, and he was so nice. And when he
I think I like
Can
I
I
think
just
I
say
like the
one
girl the
thing before
most.
I pass it off
What's her?
about Ali?
Do you know what I'm talking about?
what?
The girl?
That North Korean girl?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was her name?
Before you say that, I just have one thing about Ali. You will or something.
I got it. I got it.
Yeah. So what was I gonna say? Oh yeah,
I'm sure you don't want to bring your computer up.
I have one problem with
You think
Ali,
audio-
and it's
Probably
really
Savior.
my only problem with Ali,
I'm not
and
gonna
it's
say
for
it,
his
so I'll venture
own
it, but-
good, is that he was too nice. He was too nice for his own good. He got himself killed. He should have seen that coming.
No, no,
I'm
the-
sorry,
no,
but
yes,
he was
yes.
too
No,
nice.
yes.
No,
I
shut
was
yes.
screaming
No,
at my
the
screen
whole
like,
point-
Ali, come on, man. But
The whole point of the criticism of the show is that they can't survive, that only one of them can survive, and that it's not them killing themselves, it's capitalism killing them. That's
Yes,
the critique.
But
he has
will
no one to blame but himself, and
Or capitalism.
It
or
pains-
capitalism.
It pains
Like
me to
capitalism.
say it, but it's true.
It's not true.
To
Alright.
talking.
Jayden's talking.
Swear to God.
Jayden's talking.
I just got interrupted 5 times.
Go.
Talking. Take the mic away from him.
Give me the mic.
Yeah.
Go ahead, Jayden. Alright,
Okay.
go ahead.
But going off of that, I think he killed himself. Only because of the fact that put your dogs away. Only for the fact that he was not playing
Gotta start
for
wearing
himself
socks
per
up in
se.
the store.
He was playing the game, and I don't think he noticed it because obviously, like, if he did, he probably would have changed his ways of playing. But he played helping others, not himself. Not like that one guy with glasses that killed the girl. in the
Almost
end and
like that
died.
if you
You know what I'm talking about?
almost like that it shows in a capitalist society that if you don't
Take
play for yourself and you try to help others, you end up dying. That's the
Last
critique.
thing.
That's the critique. That's the whole thing.
How are you going to leave your only wife and child alone for some middle-aged bum who lives with his mother?
Can I just say?
Come on, Ali.
As
Do better.
That's a little. Actually, that's a little fair. That's a little
Do
fair.
better, Ollie.
As the only one who hasn't watched this show,
We're gonna make you watch it.
Yes.
Yeah.
You
we
have
will.
to, dude.
Just like how we're gonna
just
make
like-
Moosh watch Don't Hug Me, I'm Scared.
Oh, we actually should.
Yeah.
I've heard about this, and I'm not trying to like be mean about it, but it just sounds so cheesy from
It kind of is.
That's
It
what my
kind of
grandma
is.
To be
said.
fair, it's a little cheesy.
For my-
It's a little cheesy, but it's good. It's
From
not that
my from the point
Cheddar
of
cheese
view
is
of
delicious.
bad. Yeah.
Am I gonna see this on like YouTube or something?
Hopefully.
Like, hey guys, we're crossing the glass bridge. Hope I don't fall
Yes.
through.
Yes.
Those
Yes.
I don't like.
There's so much
I don't
of
like
that.
the
and it's,
parodies.
it's a little, except for Mr. Beast's video.
Yeah,
Except for Mr. Beast's video.
Mr.
we
Beast
love
is
Mr.
an
Beast's
exception
video.
there.
Also, let's talk about season 2, because
Get your dogs away.
that's what we're all talking about right now. Is that they announced a season 2,
Yeah.
which is that they're gonna do it in
I wasn't
real
done
life
speaking.
with real people. Were you still talking?
Will interrupted me.
Okay, then go. Sorry.
You all guys all interrupted me.
I didn't know he interrupted you. Go ahead.
Guys, this is why I hate this. them, these.
You have to have it flow.
I
Anyway,
have
what?
pronouns.
I'm done speaking.
No, go ahead, Jayden.
Go ahead.
Jayden, I'm severely sorry, and I really appreciate it if I could edit this and listen back and not have to listen to Riley the whole time. So please share your thoughts.
That's actually really true. I have talked so much. Go ahead, Jayden. Please don't make me convince
I
you.
will beg you. I will get down on my hands and knees and I will beg you.
Please don't. So what up? What up? So what am I?
Alright, well, Jayden, I'll try and jog your memory, maybe.
Let me know when it comes back to you. In the meantime,
Jayden, come back.
I need a minute.
Welcome to the news segment where we piss people off so much that they leave our podcast.
so I just wanted to say, guys, do not watch this episode until you have finished season 1 of Squid Game, because we are going to be talking about season 2.
Well, kind of. I'm gonna leave it here with Moosh and Will for a second. You are in charge of Moosh. Do not let him get off rails. You have 1 minute. Don't screw it up.
Yeah.
How are we canceling ourselves today, Will?
So, Moosh.
Yeah.
What do we want to talk about now? What kind of
I
controversy?
mean, what do you want to talk about? We've been talking about a show you haven't seen this whole time. What do you want to talk about?
You know, that corner down there in the bottom, it's kind of lonely down there. You know, looking at the computer, messing with the mics, it's boring.
Yeah.
I know.
I think we need to speak up a little bit, both of us.
You know.
So that noise cancellation reasons.
Yeah, you know.
What's something that can get us canceled that Riley might not like us talking about, but you can slip it into the video?
You know.
Low key.
What if we talk about how
Alright.
buses aren't actually?
It's too
No,
late.
it's too late.
Yeah.
It's too late.
Now that they're done shit talking me, I'm back.
Guess what?
Did you break it? Just.
I fixed.
So, guys, this is our first and last episode.
No, it's all right. Hey, this is first episode. What do you expect?
I expect perfection.
Jayden, if you can't fix it, just put it on the counter and come back with
When
me.
this
Your presence is
becomes-
more important than the door.
The door is
That's
everything.
subjective. That kind of actually blocks the outside noise. I kind of prefer the door.
God.
I just started the war.
I did it.
Anyways,
All I needed was some time.
all she needed was some time. Oh no, we're
None of this right here. Please don't be in my chair.
No, this is my
Come on,
seat.
Riley, come on.
This is my seat.
I cannot be next to Moosh.
Guys,
Do you
we're not
remember what you were going to
kindergartners.
say
We're not
about Squid
kindergartners.
Game?
Alright, Jayden, do you remember what you wanted to say?
You didn't jog my memory.
Okay, I'm gonna start talking.
Wait, I don't have to shut you. Go ahead.
Okay. He's telling you have to talk into the mic.
I'm sorry. I don't want to say it anymore.
As your executive producer, grab your microphone. That's not nice.
We're about to see our first chess boxing match right now. Alright. Let's not break anything. Alright.
Let's take this outside.
Coming in at 180 pounds at 6'4", William Decker. Over here at 120, Jayden
I
Robbins.
want to say my height.
At 5'3", Jayden. Wait, did I over or underestimate? I'm completely.
You got it.
I'm eyeballing here, guys. But yeah.
You're like the carnival announcer. Like, I can guess your weight. Step right up, folks. Step right up.
Step on the scale and I'll
No, but
tell
guys,
you.
Will is actually 6'4". He's a Goliath.
That's how they do
Crazy.
it. They have like a mat underneath.
That tells you.
I'm
wow,
so
wow,
dumb.
wow.
You have to sit down. You have to sit down.
Riley has done it. He has solved the Matrix.
I
Come
figured
back
out the
next
mat.
week for
Shut up.
Shut
All right. We gotta get back on topic, guys.
Last thing. I'm going to explain my logic of why I said Jayden was 5'3". So I'm a trivia guy, so I happen to know that the average female American height is like 5'4". But then I remembered Jayden's like quarter Asian, so she's 5'3" then. So that was the thought process.
Very interesting. Anyway.
My mom's like 4'11".
Oh wow.
So, or maybe
Anyway.
5 foot. One of those. Okay, sorry. Go ahead.
Back on topic. Season 2 is coming out where they're doing it in real life Squid Games, but they've yet to announce that they're going to be killing people. So I don't think I think they needed the views, so I'm saying they killed some people.
What do you
Maybe
mean
that way-
season 2 they're doing real life?
They're having people that are coming in as contestants on it.
How do I sign up?
There's like a form you can try and sign up.
No. Actually, like, how do you search?
I don't know. There's like look it up.
I have a great idea here.
What should I type?
Squid-
Like, how to sign up for
What
Squid?
about Squid Games, but with
Season 2.
Squid Games season 2 with politicians?
All I'm saying is if they don't put a cameo for Mr. Beast on it, I'm not watching. I'm not watching. If there's not a cameo of Mr. Beast, if he's not in there somewhere as like a bystander, as like a
They're
participant,
gonna have Jimmy's face on the wall.
I need a cameo from Mr. Beast or I'm not watching. I think it's just very
The
simple.
next thing you know, you're like,
Alright.
Squid Game's gonna be going on. They're gonna play like Red Light, Green Light, and then all of a sudden you hear today's episode. We're gonna be- I made sure that I was in the real life Squid Game.
If it does not start with the hey guys, welcome back to Squid Game Season 2. Today on Netflix, they
If Carl
commissioned me
isn't
to be
in there-
the announcer of Squid Game Season 2.
That would ruin it for me.
No, I
Guys,
love that.
If Mr. Beast is not in there and he does not bring Carl,
Alright. No Mr. Beast, we riot. Alright, anyway, moving on.
no Mr. Beast.
Alright. We got a few more things to get into. Alright, I know Jayden, but politics.
You guys are the politics.
Hey, no, let me.
So you guys are the politics people.
All I
I'll
have to
sit here.
say is we are an hour and 5 minutes into this.
Hey,
I see it just flies by.
it does fly by, man. We got that's a pretty good time, but we got more to talk about, and nobody has to leave yet.
Yeah, I got like 20 minutes.
All right,
Pretty good.
that's good. We can keep talking. Let's speed round this. All right, I guess. The first gun control legislation in 30 years in the works. That's pretty interesting. Well, can you go look up what the legislation would entail? Because I'm pretty sure it's not enough. But from what I remember, what do you mean?
So do you just want me to like sit down and like look those things?
No, it's fine. You can keep talking.
So I have a question for you guys. I know in the Constitution it says that, it might be the Second Amendment, but
If you're gonna Constitution Andy me right now, I'm gonna be upset.
no, I'm wondering. So you're saying, the Constitution is saying that everyone has the right to bear arms, but do you agree with the Constitution?
No.
Do people have a right to bear arms?
Here's my response to that question. Anybody that's ever like, well, the Constitution said needs to chill out because the Constitution also said slavery was okay. And I think most.
I don't think it directly, actually.
No, it did. It said that people that are slaves can be counted as voters because they're 3/4 of a human. So unless anybody's gonna be like slavery's cool, if you're gonna come to me and say slavery's cool, we can have that conversation. But like most people don't believe that the Constitution isn't anything but a living, breathing document, which means that we are changing it and we edit it. We add articles and we change things and we subtract articles, or we make articles that subtract articles.
And the reason I asked this was because personally, I don't think that, owning a weapon is a fundamental human right. It's not.
It's not. But I don't think I'm a person that's like really strongly like you cannot have a gun. I'm just very strongly a person that is like we should do everything we can to make it difficult for someone to have a gun because it makes society safer. Like multiple studies have been done on this on countries like Canada, in Australia, and you can be like you can't compare apples to oranges. Well, an orange is orange.
They're both fruit.
An orange is orange and an apple's red. You can compare apples to oranges, but no, that's not my point. My point is that the countries have tried it. It's worked. I'm not saying we should outlaw it. I'm saying we should make it difficult for people that aren't safe with a gun to use a gun, and we should make guns that are like not safe to use, not easy to use.
I agree, and I would also like this kind of has something to do with the topic, but like I don't know. The shootings that have been happening.
Yeah.
Guns,
Wait.
This
There has been
is, like,
more mass shootings this year than days.
Crazy.
Like that's insane.
That's a problem.
That's insane.
Pause. Let it
Do you know how many
sink in.
mass shootings there's been in Canada? Look it up. I want to see how many mass shootings there's been in Canada this year.
But that's
I
such
might
a huge,
he might be like say like 200 and I'll be like an idiot, but
that's such a huge problem
Probably like 30.
in everybody's eyes, in my opinion.
how many mass shootings has there been in Canada this year?
Type faster.
While he's looking, I just wanted to say that I have a more extremist view as far as rights go. I don't want to use that word, but
Yeah, it is.
No,
Go ahead.
we've talked about this, right? But I just don't think any rights are necessarily guaranteed because there's nothing really to enforce that. Who's to say that? I don't even think you have a right to your next breath of oxygen. Everything you have.
I fundamentally disagree with
Everything you have is, I think, something you're not entitled to, and rather something you should be grateful for. I wouldn't even say.
I don't think you shouldn't be grateful for
So
life.
I don't believe in the concept of human rights, and I know that makes me sound like a horrible human being. And obviously, I would never like infringe upon something like that. But I don't think anyone should feel entitled to anything.
And obviously, I'm not trying to take away your guns. That's not my goal. The issue is that we're still selling crazy amount of guns. We have so much guns in circulation that are like just not needed for civilian use. Like just straight up, any gun that can kill like more than 5 people a second is insane to have.
We also have more guns than we do people.
Yeah, we have enough guns in this country for every person to dual wield guns.
Every woman, man, baby, whatever you are.
Yeah.
Whatever you are.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know, whatever. Cat, dog, bird.
Actually, I don't know about that one.
I don't go into other species here.
So I'm looking at this. I'm not finding the exact number, but I also just want to put my opinion here. Like, everyone can have their guns, but like, if someone's gonna buy a gun for the first time, instead of making sure that they're able, like that's important. But like, let's also, if they're not able, let's train them. Let's show them. Let's not just say, "Oh, you suck. You can't have a gun. You don't know what you're doing. You're not going to be safe." Let's, instead of outcasting everyone. I'm not saying like there are not going to necessarily be people, but like teach them so they can be
I
safe.
think
So you're saying there should be some form of training required for you to be able to own and possess a weapon?
Yeah.
I also think
Like a driver's license, right?
Yeah.
I also think
Or a pilot
that
license. Go ahead.
I also think that there should be mental background checks and background checks in general. Because background checks, they'll just be like, oh, okay.
And
But mental health background checks, the last two mass shootings that we heard about, they both had mental illnesses attached to them.
also one of them was white supremacist, but yeah.
Yes, but they both had
That's
mental
the background
health.
check.
But like they should have mental health background
I don't know
checks.
if you should limit guns based on your political views, but I see what you're going with that.
Extremes on either end.
But still, I feel like limiting by that's like a issue with thought and not
Okay. I would say white supremacists can have guns. Violent white supremacists cannot. That's what I would say.
It's like once you believe.
Once you act on it, then you've
But
trespassed.
once you act on it, it's too late.
Yeah.
You've already shot up a school.
Yeah. Someone did that.
But Will, how many mass shootings have happened in Canada? Do you have any? Give me an estimate.
I'm not getting a number, but there are many news articles, so I'm going to say many.
Oh, okay.
Many.
So Riley does sound like an idiot.
All right.
No,
How many are in Australia? How many
Yeah,
mass shootings have happened in
okay.
Australia?
That's a much better metric, actually.
I think it's 0.
But
You're giving me eyes like it's probably not 0.
I'm gonna sound like an old man here, but this is why, and I've thought about this a lot. I really don't appreciate the advent of modern weaponry, whether that's nukes or guns, even gunpowder when China first invented it or discovered it. I miss the good old days of swords and bows. And
Well, yeah,
it was much easier.
The the Constitution was made when all we had was muskets.
Exactly.
And you had to go home, and you had to. There's this. I can't remember the comic's name. Who's the comic that? Damn it! I can't remember his name. He's an Australian guy. He's an Australian comic. He's very famous for doing a whole bit on Americans having guns. And he says when you were mad back then, you had to get angry, you had to go home, you had to get your musket, you had to load it, you had to come back, and by that point you're still like, Alright, you're alright. You're alright. They're not angry anymore. You're not going to shoot him anymore because you're like, you've gone through all that effort to cool off. You're like, I know you didn't mean what you said about my mother, alright? It's okay.
And as a martial artist, I know that these old weapons took real skill that took years to develop, but I don't mean to demean gun wielders, but certain guns, automatic, but certain ones, it takes like, anyone can pull a trigger. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah.
And so when it's so easy to kill, there's obviously going to be more killings.
Australia has significantly less, is all I'll say. And by significantly less, I mean they have their own gun control laws already. So.
Yeah. So my point is that gun control works. Not saying that you can't have a gun, but you need to meet requirements to get a gun. Like a driver's license. I don't think that's insane. Everybody believes, unless you're a libertarian, everybody believes in like having to have a driver's license to drive a car, so that way you don't kill people. The only difference between it should probably be a little bit more severe for a gun because you don't ride your gun to work. The only reason you have a gun is to shoot people.
And it's not.
Or a shooting range.
Unless you live in Texas.
Or if you shoot at a range or something, I mean, I guess.
And it's not an infringement of freedom because you still have, no one's taking your gun away. If you're qualified for a gun, you will still have your gun.
And if you don't, why would you want someone that is not qualified for a gun? Do you want someone that's like a sociopath or someone, not to be like ableist, but like someone that is not mentally stable to have a gun? Like, it's just not safe.
Well, I think that's like why we go back to the idea of like a quote unquote driver's license for guns. Like that's what a hunting permit is.
Yeah. If you're not using a gun to shoot people, you're using it for hunting, and you already have to have a license for that.
I would like to say that you have to have a license for fishing, but not for a fucking gun.
Well, like if you're gonna make the license, so like if you want to go hunting, you need to have a license that says, hey, you did this safety course, you passed it. Like, do the same thing, just move that test back a little bit before they buy the gun.
Also, if you can't drink before you can have a gun, there's a problem. If you can't drink before you have a gun, if you can be drafted into the military before if you can't, actually, it's different. If you can't vote before you can have a gun, that's a problem. Because isn't there some laws that, no wait, voting is at 18. Never mind, I'll be quiet.
Jayden, do you actually need a fishing license to fish?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, it depends on where you are. Depends on where you are.
I'm a criminal then.
The law is you have to be 16. Is where you get your fishing license. Once you're 16, you have to have your own license. I have fished plenty of times without a license. Of course, I'm not 16 yet. My dad has fished many times without a license. My grandpa.
You're also not shooting people.
I've consumed bluegill illegally.
Same.
Yeah.
But anyway.
That's a total side tangent.
Alright, anyway. Could you go back to, can you look up what the actual legislation would entail? Because I'm pretty sure it does like close to nothing. But I mean, like, what am I supposed to be happy about it? Because we haven't had any gun legislation in like 30 years.
You might want to wrap it up because I have like 7 minutes.
Oh, okay. Alright.
I'm very hungry.
Alright, well,
This was good.
we got a few more things.
Alright.
A few more things.
By a few more things, he means until I cut him off.
Yeah.
And tell him to shut up.
We'll
At
go ahead.
7:55.
Well, we're gonna save this segment until the end because if Moosh has to leave before, makes sense.
What's Will say?
He's just gonna talk about how the background and how
You
he's
guys-
been doing editing and stuff like that.
Hey, you guys make my life really difficult.
But we'll get to his segment in a minute. Also, something that's happened is $847 billion for the Pentagon's military budget. I believe that's just been passed or it's in the works to be passed. Why? Are we
Nobody
in
is
war?
attacking us.
Okay, I get that you guys are gonna say like no one's attacking us, but like think about our standpoint in the world right now. Like Russia's kind of on a rampage, Ukraine, that whole situation, but like it never hurts to be prepared.
But do we need to be in the hundreds of billions?
Yeah. Why can't we do that to improve our society for like other stuff like roads, like healthcare,
And-
like education, like
Let's be
healthcare,
honest.
like healthcare.
but like, think about it. Like, modern warfare. Think about it. Like a jet alone, like a single jet, probably costs $100,000, probably more.
America has
So like, it's like
yeah.
it might seem like an outrageous number, but
It is an
That's-
outrageous number.
that's not gonna get you as far as you think because of how modernized and how technologically advanced. the
Sure,
military is. So it's like it needs to be that much in order for them to do anything.
But
I guess-
America has so many allies that, hot take, we don't even need our own military. We have so
That's
many
a little
treaties
fair.
everywhere. Other countries will defend us. We do not need to spend that much money
wait,
on
NATO.
rusting jets.
Also, I'm not a
NATO.
big fan of NATO.
NATO.
High take. But
We can talk
wait,
about
I
NATO
was-
another time.
Another time.
Like,
I'm not a fan
I'm not a
of NATO
fan
either.
of
I'm not-
freedom.
yeah.
Let's not make that distinction. I love freedom. I'm not saying that. We'll get into why I'm not a big fan of NATO on a different day.
Yeah.
What I was gonna say is I don't think the main story is that we're spending a lot of on our military. I think the main story is that we're so quick to spend a lot on our military and not a lot on other things. Like education, our healthcare, our roads, our cities.
But like, what happens when you're not prepared and you go to war? That health care, those roads, they don't matter anymore. If you weren't prepared before that happens, and none of us know when it's going to happen. It could happen tomorrow for all we know. Russia comes over and bombs us. If we're not prepared, it doesn't matter what we had before, what we were working on. If we aren't prepared, we're screwed. You need that preparation.
We are prepared. No offense. We kind of are prepared.
What happens if, say, Russia nukes the Pentagon right now? Like, I know you're going to say, hey, we're prepared, we have allies. What happens when those allies are too scared to fight back? What happens when we have no other reserves because Russia's very first attack was to all our major places?
I
Rip
think.
evil, crooked
I think-
imperialist generals, 5-star.
I think what?
Rip 5-star evil imperial crooked generals.
Oh no! But in all seriousness,
Is that treason? Is
no,
it?
it's not treason. It's not treason. You
Leave.
do that. This is freedom of speech,
Alright,
kind
yeah.
of. Even though I'm not a free speech absolutist, different day. What I'm getting at is that we haven't, like my dad likes to tell me all the time, we haven't been to war since World War II. Technically, we have not drafted a war. The Congress has not declared
Instead,
war.
we take the battle to them.
We have been in scrimmages, like
And
we got
I
that.
say that
We've been in battles, but we've not been in war since World War II.
The United
Why?
States is
When
too
are we going
involved.
to disarm a little bit so that we can improve our citizens' lives?
The rest of the world resents this country, and for good reason.
We
They're
do bomb the
always-
shit out of
They're
them.
always sticking their nose and their weapons where they don't belong.
The problem is as soon that I know this is like sometimes
Go on.
crazy, but like as soon as we start to not necessarily even demilitarize, but like stop putting that as a priority, that is the best time for a country that wanted to fight back to start fighting back. Is when we stop putting effort into being prepared. Like we could be hundreds of years more advanced, but as soon as we stop putting that as a priority, that's when we become weaker. That's when we stop focusing on that.
But to that effect, that we're gonna start running out of money to put to it if we're not. Wait, let me finish. If we're not reinvesting in our society, if we're not reinvesting in our people and our jobs and our roads and our health, like we are not number one in anything but our military spending. We're not number one in anything, and that sucks because we want to be like the best, but we're only the best at having guns. We're not the best at like education. We're not the best at healthcare. We're not the best at our infrastructure. We're getting fucking creamed on with all of those, but just because we have bigger guns means we don't get invaded. I don't disagree with that, but at a certain point we're gonna stop having money to have big guns.
So this is where I'm going to start spewing those very controversial political ideas where why can't we go to communism in the perfect sense where it's on paper, where why are we spending money on these things? Why do we have money? Why
Oh my god.
oh my god, no, sorry.
I'm not gonna lie, you kind of sound like Mr. Krabs right now. Money. But like, sorry.
My thing is like, look, we want to improve healthcare, or we want to improve the roads. Why can't we just have people, and this will never happen, this is not how humans work, but like, why can't we have humans that just aren't greedy? They just work to benefit society. We just work together to be better. Why do we have to be greedy?
You can't trust the whole, well, okay, because you have to legislate things like that. So that way one bad person can't screw it up for everybody else.
That's why this is not possible and why my dreams are crushed every night.
No, it is possible. Just legislatively. Not just, it's not, sorry anarchists.
Right.
I don't believe it's possible
Right.
on an individual level. I think it's possible on an ideological, legislative level.
I just
I'm a
have
democratic socialist, not an anarchist.
I just have one last response to Will before I actually have to go. He was saying that as soon as we demilitarize, that's the perfect opportunity for a country to fight back. What I would say to that is, let's say that I don't know, beating up Riley. I'm pounding him, okay? And then something just hits me and I'm like, morally, I feel like what I'm doing is wrong. I'm going to stop. So I leave Riley alone. I get away from him. There's a chance that he's enraged and he's gonna come at me. But first of all, there's two things.
Probably wouldn't.
There's two reasons why he wouldn't. One, I think arguably, I'm taller than Riley, so I don't know why he would like try to fight me. If you look at a smaller third world country, why would they try to retaliate with the U.S. first of all? But fine.
I'd rock your shit. Sorry.
Let's say Riley's really emotional and he attacks me anyway. Okay, even with that, at least, even if I die, at least I died making a morally superior decision. I made a mistake, but I corrected it. So we've come to a point where fear is corrupting our morals, and that's what I'm gonna leave it on.
I agree with that. I agree with that.
I'm gonna, as he's walking out, I'm gonna tell us that we're about to wrap up.
In a minute.
No,
because you're gonna explain your background and everything.
Well, I would love to, but we gotta wrap this up. I'll just really quickly say it's been fun to rewatch these and to edit them and clean them up. I really hope that we continue doing this. I really am getting weird looks, and Riley's gonna hate me.
No, it's okay. We're gonna close it up. Let me tell you about what we're gonna be talking about next week. Things that we messed out on. You didn't finish?
And I'll pass it to Riley.
Next week. Alright, so there's a few things we didn't get to that we'll talk about in the next upload. You'll probably see it. It'll probably be up right now. We did not talk about the Stephen Colbert film crew being charged with trespassing on the Capitol. We'll talk about that next time. We did not talk about... Actually, that's it. That's it.
Really?
Yeah. We hit everything else but that. And honestly, we'll talk about that next time.
Yes.
If you have any suggestions, leave them in the comments. Anyways,
Let me wrap. I'll wrap it.
Can we all wrap it together?
We can wrap it together.
We can wrap it together. You know what?
Jayden, you want to give us our socials?
Well, I was just gonna roll a clip of the socials.
Okay,
so
we'll just roll
here,
it.
at the end, socials.
Socials. And with that, I'll see you in the next episode, guys. It's probably up right now. This is our first episode, and when we publish this, it'll be our second, our third, our fourth, and maybe our fifth up right now. And if they're not up right now, then they'll be up right now. And if you've already watched those, you'll see our next upload that's coming out this upcoming Friday. All right, I'll catch you guys after Will has to say.
If they're not there, it's because I'm crying in my basement.
Also, if you're interested in learning about more about us, about our whole crew, go watch our pilot episode if you haven't already.
Yeah, no, so true. That took so much work. Please watch the episode. Please watch
it. Got corrupted, and we had to do it all.
Eventually, we'll have a Patreon maybe, and eventually we'll have a Discord maybe. But until then,
thanks for watching the world's longest outro. We can't wait to let you guys watch our next episodes. Can't wait to see you guys next time.
Can't wait to see you guys. Bye.
Take care.